Hey everybody, so I thought today I just finished teaching a student, and we were doing some work on technique and consistency, and we were using a cello study, and one of the lines in this was an interesting little scale sequence which you probably heard before, and it just uses an interval jump of a third, a diatonic third, and then stepwise scale movements. So the piece was in D major, and I'll include a little screenshot of a couple of bars just so you kind of get the idea of the line, but I'll also demonstrate it for you here. I'm going to play it in the lower octave first. So let's say we're in the key of D major, all right? So if I start, I'm going to start a diatonic third below the D root. That's going to be a minor third in this case. I'm going to start on a B, and I play this. I go B, up to D, up a third, and then back down through the scale. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 sequence, right? A 4-note sequence. Now, this continues down through the D major scale using that pattern of starting note, back up, a diatonic third, which could be a major or minor third, depending on the scale step you're on, all the way through D major. See what I mean? You see what I did? Then from A, up a major third to C sharp, down through the scale, then G, up a major third to B, F sharp, up a minor third to A, E, up a minor third to G and back down, then D, the tonic, up a major third to F sharp and back down, and then I went down to C sharp here and up a minor third to E and back down. It's like this. Right? That completes a 1-octave cycle there like that. It's quite nice. So we get... We could do it like that and play the... at the end if you like. What I did there was 2 octaves of a D major 7 arpeggio. Now the other thing too with that is, you know, this is really up to you to turn this into a little study piece just by taking this little 4-note sequence. Now, what we were doing in the lesson was starting this at the highest available point on the bass. So on a J-type bass, like this bass has 20 frets, the highest note is an E flat or D sharp. So I can start here quite successfully. So if we try it from this highest point, I can do the same line as I did here. So I can play it up here as well. Right? Now, what about this? What if we played this all the way down from this highest starting sequence here? So I start on my B. But I don't like that fingering a lot, what I did there. So let me show you the one that we came up with, and I thought this was much better. So when you're running a scale sequence like this, something that's descending or ascending along the whole fingerboard, one of the key things you can do is think ahead to the note you're going to shift or slide into, right? So, for example, what I was showing my student was, as we come down through this, let's pick a predetermined note to shift or slide into. So in this case, I did this. Now, I could stay here for a little longer because I can reach that E and the D and the C sharp. I don't love that though, so I was going to go shift here on the E, my pinky. Now, what that means is I'm on the 2nd degree of D major, the E, with my 4th finger. So I can go, notice I'm back to my second on the tonic on the D was very familiar fingering there. So now I don't want to stay here because pretty soon I'm going to have to shift again. I'd rather shift in advance. So I'm going to do this. Watch this. See, I did a slide. That's not a full shift, and you can also use, when you slide up, the fourth is a great finger to slide up with. First to slide down is always a good choice. Check it out. Now, check that out. I landed on the E again with my pinky, or fourth, exactly the same as here. So it's quite a consistent fingering here. Slide, stay here, shift, slide. You see what I mean? So this works really well. It's a nice system. I'm using the same shift and slide pattern here, which is quite nice. I know what I'm doing with this. So if I go from the beginning, see what I mean? Works really well. So that's the first idea, right? So you can take that all the way down to that low F sharp. Now, if I do this, you could also go to the E, but I have a little idea. How can I finish this off nicely, this little exercise? So from here, which is the same as here on my E, right? Check it out. Slide. I could play some sort of an arpeggiated idea going back up. And I'm like, what would sound nice? Maybe that. I don't quite love that. So slide. So I get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So I like that. So what I'm doing on the ascending final line is I'm just playing a triad starting on the major third. It would be like a first inversion of D major here. F sharp, A, D, F sharp, A, D, F sharp, A, D. Now, I don't know if I love that fingering there. So if I'm here, slide, I like that more. Now why? Let me show you. So when I'm ascending through a 2-octave idea, it's often quite a nice thing to use consistent fingering so you're not second guessing yourself as you move up the neck. So notice I'm playing 1, 4, 4, 1, 4, 4, 1, 4, 4. That looks great. Very consistent, isn't it? You can see ahead really well. Remember what I was saying earlier about thinking ahead. So as I play this D, I'm already thinking ahead to the F sharp and that D, and then I'm already thinking ahead to that shift to the F sharp to the D, right? Now, one final tweak to that, if you're playing in a key where open strings are available to you, so D major would be perfect for this, I could use the open A and the open D to let me shift a little quicker. Check it out. So I could go F sharp, A, D, like that. See? Yeah? So that's one final little variation for that. So I'll put the little example, a couple of bars of that on the screen so you can see it and have fun with that. Final thing to leave you with, this was a descending version. Well, there's no reason why you couldn't play the same idea ascending. So let's start with that F sharp here that we were playing as an ascending line to finish. And let's try ascending this scalar pattern with the third and the scale-wise pattern. So we go F sharp, upper diatonic third, we're still in D major. So A and back down. Then G, upper diatonic third to B. A, upper diatonic third, in this case major, to C sharp. Then B, upper diatonic third to D. You get the idea, right? Shift. could continue that all the way up the fingerboard. You see? Now, that's a final little variation, but it's kind of fun to do, all right? So experiment with that, and you can obviously run this in all keys. When there aren't open strings available, you won't be able to use that little open string hack I showed you on the ascending triad. But other than that, it's going to really work the same way. Think ahead for your shift. I tend to use my first finger to slide down and the fourth to slide up, and I think ahead, and there's so many variations on this. You don't have to decide on just one fingering. As I was playing that coming up, I was thinking of tons of variations. I could be going right like that, or I could be going you see? There's so many different ways to play the same thing on the bass. This is what makes it challenging and fun. All right, so have fun with that. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this, and don't forget, please support the channel. Check out the website. There's tons of stuff for you to pick up if you haven't got any of my study pieces, download videos, and also there's the Buy Me a Coffee link if you want to just support the channel. All right, see you on the next one.